Hi, I'm Sharon Kane, I'm the MD of Quest PR, and today we're making a video blog with Feature Media for one of our clients, Front Row Legal. Now here we are at Elland Road, where behind me is the statue of the immortal Billy Bremner. Going on inside Elland Road is a very hot debate spearheaded by Front Row Legal, and it's called Sporting Integrity versus the Lure of Money. Can the sports industry win the competition? Now, the debate features some very high-profile speakers, including Rick Parry, the former Chief Executive of Liverpool Football Club, and Ian Smith, the Legal Director of the Professional Cricketers Association. So let's go inside and see how the debate pans out.
The relentless torrent of match-fixing and corruption allegations rocking the sporting world has been put under the microscope at Elland Road by high-profile figures including Rick Parry, the former chief executive of Liverpool Football Club and the Premier League, who chaired a government-appointed panel on sports betting integrity. Highly esteemed fellow panellists at the Sporting Integrity versus the Lure of Money debate were Ian Smith, Legal Director of the Professional Cricketers Association, author and Sunday Mirror sports journalist Anthony Clevain, former policeman and security expert Alan Smart, and leading UK sports lawyer and head of Front Row Legal Richard Kramer. Chairing the event was Clive Lawrence, a nationally recognised sports specialist from Front Row Legal. With FIFA's match-fixing dominating the news agenda, Rick Parry recalled his commitment to ensuring professional disciplinary procedures were in place when he was the Football Association's first Premier League chief executive between 1991 and 1997.
We had some fairly heavy integrity issues to deal with. I guess the highest profile was the George Graham and the Brian Clough affair, which Alan Sugar placed squarely onto the front page of the newspapers, which took up about 3 years of my life. And we had the Grobbelaar affair too. So, you know, those challenges were sort of kind of ever-present and not very far from the surface.
The debate examined the proliferation of activity, including surges in betting, with the Nikolai Davydenko tennis match, insider knowledge such as Alan Pardew's Newcastle appointment, and how players can cheat to lose.
I think that, you know, one of the key issues over the last decade has been the sort of explosion in new opportunities to bet, driven by technology, betting in real time, crossing international boundaries, betting on just about every event that you could imagine.
With the recent Pakistani cricket scandal still lingering, the debate examined the fundamental difference between cheating to win and corrupting to lose. Ian Smith highlighted the enormity of organised crime in India, where perpetrators target players, referees or umpires before grooming them in a phishing exercise.
So you put in a lot of bait, but what you're really looking for is a gambler, and there are two particular reasons for that. Is firstly, they understand what you're trying to do pretty quickly. There's an instinct involved in that for people who gamble. But more importantly, gamblers always get into debt. If somebody gets into debt, they can be helped out of debt. Once you're helped out of debt, you're in forever.
Reminding the audience how the stench of betting corruption has always been prevalent, Anthony Clevain turned the clock back to 1919, when Leeds United's predecessors, Leeds City, were kicked out of the Football League for supposedly making illegal payments to guest players during the First World War.
Clearly, Leeds United themselves have got this image which is bound up with cheating. For example, not now, of course, but in the past, 35, 40 years ago, Brian Clough famously walked up the steps to the training ground, now a car park, and said, and I'll attempt a Brian Clough impersonation, and I apologise in advance. You won all your medals by cheating, so throw them in the bin. And I think the...
That's quite good, actually.
Thank you. Yeah.
In February this year, Rick Parry and a panel of sports betting integrity experts produced a government-commissioned report on gambling integrity. Its recommendations included setting up a new code of conduct on sports betting integrity for all government bodies to adhere to, establishing a cross-sports betting integrity unit, and setting up a comprehensive education programme.
In that, Rick's report was designed to almost be the forerunner to stop matters being exposed as they are. And rather than just act on a crisis, perhaps this government ought to adopt perhaps what Rick's recommendations are and take the lead role.
With a ban already in place on first-class cricketers betting on any cricket game, the experts acknowledge the difficulty of imposing blanket betting bans across other sports. They did, however, stress the importance of a unified approach to help stamp out corruption.
So what do? Just crawl away and not deal with it? Or do we let it rule us and overtake us? Or do we try and scratch away at the surface and try and work towards utopia?
The audience posed their questions at the debate, which completes a hat-trick of topical and controversial events spearheaded by Front Row Legal, which advises some of the UK's biggest names in sport and entertainment.
What I've really taken away from it is the sporting governing bodies are committed to promoting integrity, and that's really the starting point.
There's been a lot of suggestion that there is a lot of corruption in sport, but what I've taken away from this is we need regulation, we need ethics, and hopefully we'll keep chipping away at the corruption and eventually it'll collapse.
Each and every seminar has been so topical, even though they've been planned months in advance. The timing of them has been fantastic.
One of my favourite sports is golf. And I never realised that there was no regulations about the betting of that.
It's been fantastic to be here today at the Front Row Legal Seminar. Absolutely fantastic opportunity for SportsAid to talk about what we do. Intriguing, fascinating talk from the panel. Brilliant to be here.
I'm particularly interested in the areas of sports betting and sports corruption, which is going to be something, sadly, that we're going to hear a lot more about. So some thought-provoking stuff.